Get access to influencing experts. Welcome to Easy Talk Live. Hosted by Aaron Zuley.
Woohoo! You guys ready to do this?
Connect with celebrities and entrepreneurs. Entertainment at its best. Products, news, reviews, interviews, performances, events, even a little comedy. Giving back. CEOs connect with the top CEOs in the industry. And now, get ready for Easy Talk Live.
Everybody pull your mobile phones out and put your hands together for the Easy Talk Live Show. It's time to stop doing it the hard way and start doing it the easy way.
Easy way! Hey, the easy way! Oh, easy way! It's the easy way!
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Easy Talk Live. Got an exciting show for you today. As you guys know, I only do specials now. Not really doing regular weekly or monthly things, but we do special episodes of Easy Talk Live. Been doing the show now officially for, I want to say it's been 18 years ongoing. Used to be at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. We've been on KDOC, KXLA, Actors Reporter, Public Access Television, and now here on EZWAY TV, we bring you Easy Talk Live. So first and foremost, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to EZWAY Network. As always, best way to connect, we call it Next Level Networking. And you're going to see throughout the show, we're going to tell you guys to make sure that you become a member and join so you can get your own broadcasts on EZWAY TV, EZWAY News, so on and so forth. If you do events, we also do help you with those events to get more butts and seats, more people to your events. And if you download our app on EZWAY on Google Play or Apple Store, you'll be able to have us right in the palm of your own hands in whatever we do. When you watch the show, you can also become a VIP member to connect with amazing VIPs like you're going to watch today, and so much more. Again, go to EZWAY Interactive to download the app. So starting out, we do have our EZWAY News for today, and the EZWAY News is the big event coming up on March 2nd. Which is in Orange County and supported by the mayor of Lake Forest, as well as we'll be honoring over 25 different amazing celebrities and people. And we also have AC Green will be honoring from the NBA. We have it's at the Voco Laguna Hills Hotel, and this event is going to be spectacular and is supporting Better Vision for Children. Better Vision for Children, you can go to bvccharity.org. And, basically you can check out my book as well. If you guys, we'll be talking about Larry Namer's book today, but my book as well. We have the Best of Best book. Can't really see it because of the background, but we do a book every year, and more fun benefits when you become a member of EZWAY Network. All right. So before we bring in our amazing guest today, Larry Namer is going to be talking about his new book, Offscript. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the background that me and Larry have been involved with, and we go way back. And this is actually when I first met Larry a long time ago. I think it was over 15 years ago. This is when Larry was involved with us on our board of advisors, and this was when he was on my show, the original show on Actors Reporter on the Easy Show. But I actually honored Larry with my EZWAY Achievement Award that was actually given to me by the City and County of Los Angeles and the Multicultural Motion Picture Association. And this was when we basically gave Larry the first award ever. And so I thought that was a little bit of history I'd share with you guys. This was signed off by the City and County of Los Angeles, the Mayor Antonio Villagosa, and that was the Jarvie Hutchison, God rest his soul, who named this award after me, and we did honor Larry, and that was covered by Associated Press and Getty, and just good times, good times. Now we have more present times ahead, and we're going to go ahead and bring Larry Namer on to let you know a little bit more about his new book, Offscript. And during the show, you guys are welcome to comment and questions, and it's a very engaging show. So enjoy. Well, we apologize about those technical difficulties. Not sure what's going on with StreamYard today, but we still got through it. And without further ado, we want to, before we bring Larry on, we want to say thank you, Wendy Weber and Frederick. He's got an awesome award show. Michael and looks like Cynthia, Matt, all you guys that are tuning in, and everybody else. Remember, this is a very engaging show, and get your questions and comments ready for the one and only Larry Namer. Welcome to the show, Larry. Hey, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to be here.
Well, good to have you. Good to have you. So, man, it's been a while. The last time we had you on the Easy Show, I think, was 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and the Actors Reporter Studio, I think.
Yep. Yeah, and goes way back.
Yeah, and you know, we had you on a pretty amazing red carpet for the Red Cross for Hollywood Unites. We've done a lot of stuff with American Chinese CEO Society and Dr. Jolini and many things that goes way back. And so I wanted to take you back, Larry, to where we first met. And that was on the streets of Hollywood, literally on the streets of Hollywood, through Diane Bennett. We're big on giving credit to where credit's due. People that introduce you, you know, you have to appreciate those that turn you on to new advancements in your career and your life. And this show was when we did WTV, and we still own WTV, What You Need TV, with over 14 million viewers. But do you remember this?
I do indeed. Yep.
So this is when we first met, and you know, this was when I was first coming up as an interviewer, and I was so excited to interview the great Larry Namer. And do you remember? You know, we kind of play a little game when we interview our guests. Do you remember the question that I asked you, or anything about this interview that sticks out, or that you do remember? You know, I'm taking you back in the past.
Eric, I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast today, so no.
All right, don't worry about it. But you know, I asked you. Let me get rid of that. There we go. I asked you. You know, what kept you motivated to keep going, to be able to get that special doorway that took your next level of success. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm going to ask you the same question, Larry. Now, today in 2025, in present, what keeps you motivated?
Well, I think, you know, in the media and entertainment world, I think everything changes. It's fluid. So it's no, today is different than yesterday, is different from the day before, whatever. The geography of the business has changed dramatically. The taste of the audience has changed dramatically. The technology has changed dramatically. And I just love, you know, having new challenges literally every day. So I wake up in the morning still with 10 new ideas, and can't wait to get out of bed and see which ones actually are decent enough to try, or the ones I should just forget about.
Well said, well answered. All right, so Larry, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor, and this is almost like a TED Talks type of stage. Okay, and I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna give you the opportunity to really, to really talk about what is uh, Maytime Development Group, and who is Larry Namer, and what is your story? What's your journey? Just so everybody that's watching can really get to know who the man behind the entertainment, lights, camera, action, all that stuff. Who's the man behind the hype, basically. Just take the stage for about 5 minutes and just explain who you are, Larry, and what your mission is in this world, and then I'll come back. Go ahead.
Sure. So I started out my career. I grew up in Brooklyn, when Brooklyn, before it was trendy Brooklyn, and I ended up getting a job with a little known company back at that time. It was a cable TV company when nobody knew what cable was, and they gave me a job going under the streets of Manhattan every day and putting the wires together, and they paid me $90 a week. But I quickly rose to to get out of the sewers, and then I became an installer, and then a serviceman, and then an advanced serviceman, and then moved into management. And at 25, I was director of operations of Manhattan Cable TV, which was the biggest cable company in the country, and I had over 300 people reporting to me, and all of which were older, which created an interesting dynamic. And then I got recruited to come to Los Angeles to build Valley Cable, which was going to be the biggest and first two-way interactive cable system in the U.S., which I came out here and did. And but then when the company that I worked for sold and they went back to Canada, me and my friend Alan Marufka, we were kicking around ideas to keep us in LA. And we just came up with this idea, call it MTV of the movies, or Entertainment Tonight 24 hours a day, which we started. Originally, the name was Movie Time, and then we changed it to E. And we didn't realize that these things cost a hell of a lot more money than anybody was willing to give. Two guys from the East Coast, uh, and everybody just said to us, "You're not Rupert Murdoch. You're not Time Warner. People don't start TV networks. Only big media companies do." And we didn't listen. And finally, we found somebody who was willing to give us $2.5 million, and we were like, "Hey, it costs $100 million to start a TV network." And but in either case, we took the 2.5 million. I had a friend teaching radio, television, film in the University of Texas in Austin. He sent us 31 interns, and while everybody thinks, I mean, he is a monster in the pop culture world today. It's in 142 countries and values up over $7 billion now. And most people think it's just started by a big media company, when in fact it's the only TV network that's global that was ever just started by two people. Even to this day, it was never done before, and it's never been done since. So, um, but then after that, I kind of got bored. I started a media company in Russia. I consider myself a storyteller, or a creative, but my degree is in economics, so I always get thrown into the business side of things. I had a TV show in Russia, literally 5 days a week for 10 years. It was the number one TV show. We had a big concert company there. And then I kind of moved into China because I thought that would be more challenging. And we have a company still in China. I think we're the only media company that's a Western company that's allowed to do media in China. And we do everything from TV, film, immersive, live events, music. I mean, you name it, we do it. And and then when COVID struck and the quarantine restrictions were so onerous, I started doing stuff here in the U.S. again, and doing everything I do in the U.S. these days has to have a social impact component to it. In other words, it can't just be entertaining. It has to have some really good thing that it does for us as human beings, or as a society. And so that's what I've been up to. And then finally, I decided I'm going to write a book. People have been after me for years to write the book, and I've always refused. But I finally did it, and the book came out like 2 weeks ago, doing very well. It's like bestseller in a few different categories, and so here I am.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us, Larry. And your your story is definitely inspirational. And you know, so did you know that you were always going to be in television, or did you want to do anything before that?
No, my family, we were the family of immigrants. Originally my father's family came from Turkey, and their aspiration for their children was get a civil service job, get a pension, have security, retire at 65. Entrepreneuring was not something in the family blood. So I actually, graduated college and I had a degree in economics, and I thought I would be a teacher or something like that. And the city of New York froze the budgets for teachers, so I had to get what I thought was going to be a temporary job with this cable company. So I had to join the electricians union and stuff like that. And I thought this was going to be a summer job, or just a few months. And here I am, 50 years later, still doing it. So it's totally by accident.
Well, and I mean, you're not, I mean, you set the, so how do you feel? I mean, you set the bar pretty much for all of television, I would say, like, all the, you guys were like the outside of the box, network, that a lot of other networks, I think, kind of stemmed off of and copied off of in a sense. You guys set the bar, and you and Alan, that started E Entertainment Television. I mean, how do you feel knowing that like a lot of people are kind of following that trend?
It's kind of interesting for me because when Alan and I came up with this idea, let's call it MTV of the movies, we just thought it was so logical, and stuff, and we didn't think it was anything revolutionary. I mean, it turned out to be. And, I think there's that saying that necessity is the mother of invention, because we didn't have a lot of money. The going rate was like $100 million to start a TV network, and we only had two and a half. So we had to be really, really creative there. And, it led to shows like Talk Soup and Howard Stern, and, which were really high impact shows that didn't cost us very much to do. And we revolutionized the way the red carpets got um, covered. And, but again, people don't realize when we first applied for credentials for the Oscars, we were refused. They said, you're some little cable network. We're not giving you press credentials. And literally, we climbed over the fence and snuck into the Academy Awards, and we were on the red carpet, asking the questions that we were interested in. And then everybody would go, "So, Mr. Cruz, tell me about your next movie." And we were like, "Hey, dude, where'd you get those cool shoes? Like, who are you wearing?" And so we started really getting into celebrities as people, as opposed to celebrities as products.
Yeah.
And the audience just loved it. And, we just perpetuated it. So early E was very much showing the sensibility Alan and I had, which was Hollywood is funny stuff. Don't try and make believe it's rocket science. And you look at Talk Soup and E Hollywood True Stories and Wild on E and Howard Stern, and they were all kind of tongue in cheek, saying, "Hey, let's like join us tonight. Let's have some fun together."
No, I love that. And I got to say, I'm a fan of Talk Soup. I'm a fan of Greg Kinnear. How did you find that guy, by the way?
Well, Greg was actually when we even before we went on the air, we met Greg. He was like an assistant marketing guy for like some little film company that was doing like these cheap monster movies. And when we pitched this company to be an advertiser, he was like, "Hey, I think I could be a host." And we were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, everybody's a host." And then we just scheduled to come in, and the gal who was interviewing people, um, took him in the studio, and she said, "How he'd like to say hello." And I said, "Listen, I'm really busy. I just tell him I said hello." And then finally she came in and she said, "Larry, you got to come in and watch this guy." And I did. And, the second she cued him, yeah, he lit up the camera. I mean, you just knew that Greg was going to be not just a good host for us, but he was going to actually even go on to do bigger and better things. And, he's Academy Award winning Greg Kinnear now. So,
Yeah. I mean, you guys came up with so many incredible shows. I mean, Keeping Up the Kardashians. It's almost like you guys made one of the biggest now social media stars. The family, and fashion. I mean, you guys, like, the network kind of revolutionized fashion and entertainment, I would say. I think you guys were like the
yeah.
more unique fashion network. And what would you say, Larry, now versus when you first started E to where E is now, and the new AI and the new type of show, the new type of programming? Obviously, you guys sold E, and you're not necessarily E Entertainment anymore. Now you're Maytime Development Group, and we'll get into that. But what do you think of the now versus the before when it first started?
Well, I mean, first of all, in today's world, I would never do a linear television network. I mean, back then the world was analog, and people had to watch whatever you put on at 8 o'clock on Thursday night and stuff. Well, those days are long gone. People want to watch what they want to watch, when they want to watch it, on whatever device they want to watch it. So the technology has changed so dramatically that you need to keep up with it. I mean, I'm a big fan of AI. Even like when I'm doing this book thing, I mean, I have an AI program that tells me what to post on social media every day. And, my whole marketing plan is done that way. And just in TV development, things that used to take me 5 days to do now take me 1 hour to do because I use AI to kind of cut through all the BS. And so I would do stuff very differently. I think, the audience has changed. I mean, back when we started, people were willing to sit through a half-hour program. Now, trying to get them to sit through a 2-minute TikTok is a challenge. So, um, you just have to you have to go where the technology is going and the geography is gone. I mean, it used to be a world that was very much focused on the U.S. and now there's great programming coming literally from everywhere. I mean, you look at the stuff coming out of Korea and Israel and even China now, and it's spectacular.
Let's get into that too, the China thing. And by the way, you mentioned TikTok. Do you want to mention your TikTok or Instagram or your social network so people can follow you?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could find everything. The only one that I really do myself, I'll admit to it, is I do my Facebook page myself, which I'm a huge foodie, so my Facebook page is almost my food blog. So that's the one like that I do myself, and then I usually answer, anybody who comments and stuff like that. And then Larry Namer TV is the IG, and you know, we're every place.
So you guys heard it first. So you get some great information, some great facts on the show. Larry Namer only does his Facebook himself, but I'm the same way, Larry. I have a huge team, and I have an amazing VA that I train to be me, to become me, because like social media takes up your life, like
Yeah,
literally. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into Maytime Development Group. You guys have moved over into China, into Beijing. You want to start talking in a different language now? Ni hao ma.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
let's talk about what you're doing out there in China and internationally.
yeah. In Meituan, we do stuff specifically for the Chinese audience, and we do it all in Mandarin. And we do TV, film, immersive content. We do branded content, product placement. We're involved a lot in AI related things there, and we do. We work with actually the parent company of TikTok, ByteDance. We work with them a lot there. So we're kind of broadband there. But then with COVID, what the quarantines were so restrictive that I reinvigorated a company of mine called LJN Media, which is really the one that's doing all the stuff in the U.S. these days. So, and everything I'm doing in the U.S. these days has got it, it has to have a social impact component to it. It can't just be entertaining. It has to have some social good thing that it does. And, so that's kind of what I've been busy with.
Okay. Well, and you mentioned TikTok. I'm actually the chief marketing officer for the National Social Media Awards. the Hoppa Awards, bunch of award shows now. And I can tell you, I'm definitely a consultant for social media influencers. That's a big part of our business now. And I know that when people are listening to like the connections that you have with TikTok, you and I can play together behind the curtain a little bit for these influencers. Every influencer right now is looking to see how they can monetize, how they can make money with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Do you have any suggestions? I mean, being the owner of a company that works so close to TikTok?
Well, we look at, I think the days where people were just buying big numbers, those are gone. The brands, all the media is ultimately brand driven or audience driven, where they're willing to pay for something, but it's still 90% is driven by the brands, as opposed to people paying individually. And you got to move people to the market. At the end of the day, all the brands are looking, saying, how much does this move my sales needle? And if it doesn't do it, the money is going to go elsewhere. So you got to really get even beyond engagement. You got to get to the point where you actually can get people to go and do something, whatever the thing is you're trying to get them to do.
That's a great answer. Yeah. And so, Larry, we have a lot of people that have actually registered, a lot of people that they're watching right now, a lot of people actually watching on the TV network, on EZWAY TV, on Roku, it looks like. But I wanted to give a couple special shout outs to, the people that registered and the people that are watching: Jonathan Deal, Rayster Michaels, Victoria L. Sanchez, Lindsay Rose, Ebony Baker, Marie Smith, Galina Kapani, Maria, Carla Maria, Michael Adam Cohen. And if any people strike you that you want to say hello to too, Larry, please feel free. Joseph Lee Michael, Donna Marie May, Amy Graves, Ermina Chavez, Rob Lee, Rob V, Ronald Sagoon, Brian McNeil, April Ross, Christy Reamer, Ernest Lee Thomas, Casey Tuckness, Michael Neely, Wendy Adams, Ryan Torres, Elijah Green, Michelle Wilson, Laura Jane Jones, Randy Gettings, Trish Cook, Laurice Adams, Carol Register, Natasha Jones, Robert Butwin, Don Green, the CEO of Napoleon Hill Foundation. Thanks so much for tuning in, Don. Jackie Harris, Sean Kanan, big actor. Hey, Cobra Kai is one of the biggest seasons right now. Lincoln Williams, and he plays Mike Barnes, by the way, from Karate Kid. Ashkan Tabibnia, Wanda Wilson, Bernard White, Bethan Thomas, Andre Adams, Jim Bannon, Olympia Gelini, John Carr, Daryl Bollinger, Tony O'Donnell, and on. I can't mention everybody, but we just wanted to say thank you, guys. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting and being here. We have Frederick saying congratulations, 18 years. Wendy Weber, looking forward to the interview today. Awesome. So, guys, remember too, this is a live interactive show, and you're welcome to ask questions anytime that you want, comment anytime that you want. And we definitely appreciate you, everybody, tuning in. You guys are the fuel to our vehicle, and we're getting ready to take you places with Larry Namer's book, his new book. He's got a book called Offscript. Larry, let's talk about the book. What is the big hype? What is the big thing about the book? Why are so many people buying it right now?
Sure. It's people have been after me to write this book for a long time because some of the things that have gone on in my life have been part of my life. Even with me looking back and having to recollect all this stuff, I'm amazed that some of it actually happened to me. But I've always resisted writing the book because I've never been ready to write a last chapter. But then I thought about it. So literally every 7 years, I reinvent myself. I almost become a totally different person every 7 years. And people, while I'm certainly known for my television shows, my real passion is cooking. I'm a fanatic wannabe chef, and I cook all the time and stuff. So I said, if I take my life and I break it into these 7-year segments, I could write little anecdotes of the stories that happened during those periods, and then I could match it with the recipes that inspired me during those same times. So the book is somewhere between a bio and a cookbook.
I love that. So, talk a little bit about your family life, and what inspired you. What was the idea? What was the thing that made you, come up with the name off script, because I know you're big on cooking. You know, you and John. I remember when I went to your house. Your barbecue was beyond amazing. By the way, you're an amazing cook. So yeah, let's talk about a lot of the stuff that people just don't know about, Larry. That's not online. That's not in the news.
Yeah, I've been cooking since I'm 12. My both parent worked, and my choice was learn how to cook or eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. And I got a little tired of the peanut butter and jelly, so I learned how to cook. And then it's just kind of followed me, forever. And I've got three kids. Johnny, and my son John is my older boy, and Alex is my younger boy, and Nicole. My daughter just had a baby, so now I'm a grandpa.
Oh, congratulations!
And
All right.
yeah, I'm a little bit of a hermit in Hollywood, although I'm getting out since COVID. I now get out of the house a lot, but I've always kind of stayed away from the limelight. But now, with the book, I'm out there promoting it and stuff, and it's a little different, but it's okay. I'm doing all right.
You're just like me now. I turned into Larry Namer. I'm a hermit in Hollywood. I send everybody everywhere. I don't go anywhere anymore. But
Yeah.
When we first met, I dragged you like a rag doll to all the carpets. I brought you everywhere. Do you remember that huge carpet that we did for you, Hollywood Unites? It was about 40 feet long. It was at the Hollywood Highlands. And we had the most interesting man in the world there, and we just really supported the disaster of the earthquake in Japan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was a really huge, and we're planning on actually doing something for the victims of the fire, because Hollywood Unites is all about Hollywood uniting together for great causes.
Yeah.
So your book, pick a chapter. Pick a chapter and talk about like the best chapter of the book. Give a little teaser.
Well, the one that most people seem to have reacted to. We sold a fair amount of books already, but the one that people seem to comment the most is the chapter about when Alan and I first met O.J. Simpson, and it was basically over a dispute over a girlfriend of O.J.'s that Alan went out with, and he threatened to do all kinds of mean things to Alan, and we ended up, getting on the phone and decided that we'll all meet at a restaurant and see if we could iron out the difficulty. So, we ended up in a restaurant in Beverly Hills called The Scala, and in the book, I detail that first meeting with OJ, coupled with I actually remembered what it was I ate the first time we ever met, and that recipe is in the book. That's the one that most people seem to like the best.
Oh, that's cool. So then basically you have like a recipe of personal stories that you've gone through. So it's almost like a cookbook of your life.
Yeah, and that's what it's called. It's called recipes for success. So
Okay. So the book's called, so why is it called Offscript?
because most of the stuff I've done has been most people thought was odd. I mean, when we first came up with Talk Soup, and I said I want to do a TV show that makes fun of TV shows, people said, "Larry, you're out of your mind. That's a crazy idea." Well, that show ran 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said I want to put cameras in this guy's radio studio, and people went, "Larry, radio's been dead for 40 years. Why would you do that?" Well, that guy turned out to be Howard Stern, and obviously Howard's done pretty well. So we just did a lot of stuff. When I went off to Russia, people said, "Why would you possibly go to Russia?" Um, but we had the number one TV show in Russia for 10 years. So a lot of the stuff is kind of different than the path that most people take.
So let's talk about Russia, Larry. You say you've done a lot of stuff in Russia. Do you know Putin?
We actually started a big music festival there where we raised money for Children's Hospital in the orphanage. And I work with the mayor of St. Petersburg, but then the mayor would always assign stuff to the vice mayor, who was Vladimir Putin. So Putin and I worked together on this charity thing for many years.
Oh, that's cool. So just really because I mean you guys were very unorthodox, unique network. You asked unique questions. Larry, if you were the president of the United States, what would be your first order of business?
Oh God, I think we need to recognize that we're a part of the world and that we're not isolationist. And that's where I don't agree. I think we become this one world, or should become this one world. And I think the direction we're taking is a little too isolationist for me. I mean, yeah, we should do what's best for America, but we got to remember we're one human race.
Great answer. Okay. Yeah, I agree 100% because we're all about unity, and it looks like we might have lost Larry on signal. I'm sure he'll be coming back, but it's all about unity and community. We've been in that manner all the time. And basically, I'm a universal peace ambassador for the United Nations, the Universal Peace Federation. Been uniting people for a very, very long time, and basically, that's what it's really all about. And in social media land, that's the more that we unite together, the more that we support one another, the more power you can create on platforms. And basically, that's what I want you guys to get a good takeaway on today's show. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Hey, I see Anna Sutherland, one of our designers for the EZWAY Awards Golden Gala coming up. She's designing our heroes capes. We're actually going to be giving away special ceremonial capes to all of our honorees on March 2nd, supporting Better Vision for Children in Orange County, California. Supported by the mayor of Lake Forest, supported by a lot of amazing celebrities like Bill Duke and Bai Ling, and we're going to be honoring some really incredible people. So we really appreciate Anna, and Anna's going to be putting her designs on some really incredible people. Ebony, so good to see you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love it, Wendy. Sounds like a 7-year itch. That's funny. I don't know if Larry's coming back or not, but it seems like the signal might have lost, and unfortunately the interview is getting cut a little short, but that's fine. Want to encourage everybody to get your own show. Just like I'm doing right now. I have an amazing show called Easy Talk Live, and it's a great vehicle to give people a lot of exposure. And I'm going to go ahead and go to a commercial break and give you guys the chance to ponder and think about a little bit of what was said today, and get your questions together, and we definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in. And this is Easy Talk Live, and we'll be right back. All right. And then, as I said, you can get your own podcast on Easy Talk Live. Sorry about for some reason, the signal or there's glitching today when we do play the videos and commercials, but you can get your own show on Easy Talk Live. You can do the same thing that I'm doing, and, contemplate getting your own podcast here on the EZWAY podcast network. It's $100 a month, and we market you to a lot of great, amazing eyeballs. So here's a little bit more on Easy Talk Live. A little bit more on EZWAY Networks, EZWAY podcast system.
Welcome to EZWAY Podcast. Do you have a podcast? Maybe you want to create one. Let EZWayPodcast.com make it a little easier on you and your guests. For only $99 a month, you can super boost your podcast, get more subscribers, advertisers, and manage everything all in one place with EZWAY Network.
Get seen and heard the easy way, get a larger reach, meet quality potential guests. You could be on Roku, Apple, Amazon, all mobile devices and smart TVs streaming on EZWAY TV. Our network helps you get advertisers and people wanting to pay you for an interview, as well as brand credibility and more social media followers. Try it free. Register to EZWayPodcast.com.
All right, guys. Yeah, EZWayPodcast.com. You can have your own podcast. We have EZWAY TV, which is on Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Google Play, Apple Store. We'll also be on LG and Samsung pretty soon. And we were able to get Larry back on the show. So welcome back, Larry. Yeah, it sounds we're having a little bit of difficulty with signal or something today. But back in action now, where we were talking about your book. It's great information. Let's talk about some of the other people, Larry, that you've worked with in your career. You mentioned that you've done charity with Putin. I'm sure a lot of people didn't know that. Is there any other people that stand out in your mind that you're making a difference with?
Well, I mean, from E, we work with literally everybody, and because early E again was all about celebrating the industry. So we work with just about every major celebrity there, and he obviously started the careers of a lot of people, including Ryan Seacrest and Howard Stern and the Kardashians and all of that, and half of the people that came from Talk Soup went on to bigger and better things, Mark DiCarlo and all of those, and Hal Sparks and Joel McHale. But over the years, we worked with we worked with everybody. In Russia, we had the #1 TV show for 10 years, 5 days a week for 10 years, and in China, we work with all the major stars of China, and we do a lot of stuff, and only in Mandarin language for the Chinese audience, and so that's kind of it. We know everybody, or they know of Alan and I, because we kind of helped their careers, when they were trying to get started.
That's that's awesome. If you think about it, the Talk Soup show was a great show that kind of helped a lot of influencers today. If you look at a lot of these influencers today on YouTube and streaming and even TikTok, they do make fun of other celebrities, or they talk about other celebrity news. Like that concept that you said that you had that nobody wanted to do has been like a trend-setting trailblazer concept that like everybody is using now to get more views and put food on their table, because you make money the more views that you get.
Yeah. We changed the way red carpets were done, and a lot of people credit us with really starting the whole reality TV world there, because a lot of the stuff we did, and a lot of it was just because we didn't have money to do fancy production. We just had to be smarter and different.
Well, it's definitely inspiration to those that don't have a lot of money that want to do stuff like this. That want to. I mean, that's the thing, guys. Is you really don't need a whole lot of money to do broadcast, to do streaming. That companies may make you think that you do, but you heard it from Larry right there. You don't. Even if you just kind of improvise and you get unique with it. I remember when in the speaking world, and I kind of follow in your footsteps a little bit, Larry. In the speaking world, I started the red carpets through the Think and Grow Rich tour, which was hosted by Omar Periu, and our PR company did the first official Think and Grow Rich tour with John Shin. And we did a big red carpet with the speaking environment, with the summits and speaking. And like the speaking world never really did the red carpets. It was always about the what they're speaking about, and then their traditional handing pamphlets and like the way that they did things. But it's almost like kind of bringing Hollywood into the personal development or the business world. And I know that you speak as well, Larry. Let's talk a little bit about your booking opportunities, because we have a lot of people in the network. We're up to almost 12,000 members now on the EZWAY Interactive app that do stages, that podcasts, and so on and so forth. That anybody that might want to book you to be on their next stage, you do speak, right?
Yeah, no, I do. Now these days, I speak a lot. I mean, a lot of people ask me to speak, particularly on the implications of new technology on the underlying business of media and entertainment, which I've been doing that literally all around the world, and still continue to do that. And then just a lot of people, particularly in the entrepreneur world, love the story, because literally I've gone from below the ground up. Like I say, I started in the sewers of Manhattan for $90 a week, and so I wasn't always a media mogul, as some people have described it. So a lot of people just love when I do the background story, because they find it so inspirational and it's motivational.
And Wendy Weber says, I have a lot of crazy ideas. Wendy, we'd love to hear them. Go ahead and comment them, and maybe we'll put them on the screen. What's your craziest idea? Actually, going off of that topic, Larry, and again, it's always about the fans. I think you would agree that when it comes to media, when it comes to broadcasting, it's about the audience, right? Do you have any tips or tricks, any ideas to entertain the audience more, to get more numbers? Everybody's probably wondering how do you get more numbers? How do you get more subscribers when you have a media vehicle? Any ideas from the great Larry Namer?
Sure. Well, I've kind of jumped into the podcast world because, when I started in the media business or in the TV business, there were three networks: ABC, NBC, CBS. And if you wanted to do visual entertainment, you had to come to Hollywood where the big sound stages existed, and the cameras were $250,000 for a camera, so very expensive, and you had to come here to do it. And that's changed, unbelievably dramatically. And then cable came, and you needed millions of viewers in order to justify whatever it is you're going to make. And then cable came along, and it kind of cut that up into segments. So you had news channels and weather channels, and literally you could break everything up by genre, sports channels. And so then you only needed a few 100,000 people to make economic sense of it. The podcast world I love because you could play with, crazy ideas incredibly inexpensively. I wouldn't say cheaply, but inexpensively. So, I mean, one of the things I've always toyed with, and is one of those ideas, you always have to go through the gatekeepers. And when you have crazy ideas, they go, well, what's it like? And I'm going, well, it's not like anything. It's a new idea. And it's always frustrated me. But in the podcast world, you don't have the gatekeepers. So you could try stuff. So it's always amazed me that you could go out to dinner with a few couples, and one woman says, I got to go to the restroom. And then all the women at the table get up and go together. And the guys are sitting at the table there going, where are they? What are they doing? What are they talking about? Most of the time they're talking about us, or, the latest in fashion or makeup or things like that. But I think it's really indicative of this camaraderie I think that women have that us guys don't necessarily share. So we created a show called Stall Talk, STALL, Stall Talk Podcast. It's on YouTube and all the usual places. And it's women of four different generations that talk about different issues. Some are current news, some are just, more generic about relationships and love and health and wellness and spirituality as well. So we're doing more and more in the podcast world. And it's a great way to take a concept and fine tune it. And, now Sirius Radio has discovered the show, and it's now going to be on Sirius's podcast platform. And even though it's relatively new, it's just the audience has grown exponentially because it's dealing with subjects that even the cable networks couldn't deal with because the audience size would not justify the expense. But in the podcast world, you need thousands of people. You don't need hundreds of thousands to make it economically viable. So we like testing stuff out there. Now we're out pitching Stall Talk as, a replacement for things like The View, which, are kind of antiquated programming formats and stuff. And so, that's kind of where my direction is. I'm looking for what's the next podcast thing we're going to do. And we've got 2 or 3 in development now.
I love that. Well, I'd love to chat with you more about the podcast you have in development. We actually have, I'm just going to take some time really quick because we're talking about podcasting. We actually have a special, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, Larry. We have a special podcast assist system that we've designed, which obviously this is one of the channels on our network. And like right now we are live and people are on here, which watching the podcast and there's an update system, and then you have your commercials, and then it actually will help you manage your guests as well as any advertisers that come in. And on the back end, so this is on the front end, but on the back end, it actually manages your podcast for you. It helps you to notify all the people in our network. It manages all the different podcasts in one simple place, gives you analytics. It manages all your guests. There's an AI feature that follows up with the guests and so on and so forth. So, podcasting, I agree with you 100%. It is a vehicle. I think it's a vehicle for people to make money at home. And let's talk about the monetizing side of podcasts. Like, Larry, let's talk about monetizing the microphone in your opinion. In my opinion, it's product placement, licensing, pay to play, and obviously, the standard advertising that most people do. Let's talk about that and go in that direction. What's the best way to monetize a microphone?
Well, I think if you pick a niche that allows you to reach a very identifiable yet hard to reach audience, um, like with Stall Talk, we're incredibly effective at reaching young women, 18 to 30, which traditional media has the hardest time finding them. So anybody who's advertising, the makeup companies, the cosmetic companies, the credit card companies with a starter credit card, they have a hard time, but yet we're a very, very efficient vehicle for finding women that fall into that 18 to 30 um, category and stuff. So you really need to make sure that whatever your podcast is going to be, it has the potential of reaching an audience that advertisers are interested in reaching, but yet have a very hard time of reaching. So sponsorship is the first. Um, we Stall Talk is now on the Sirius Radio's podcast thing, and for a single podcast, it's very hard to get just the general advertising dollars because you really can't afford to have a staff that goes out and does that. But with Sirius and Tribune, with their partners, they've got a whole team of people that go and sell, and they do what I refer to as programmatic. So if there's a sponsor that wants to reach 18 to 30-year-old women, they can look across all the podcasts, of which we're one of the ones they carry, and they could actually make a buy for that demographic across, could be 10 different podcasts, and we just get our share of the money, which normally we never would have gotten anything. So you got to look at all the potential opportunities there, and product placement, obviously, and it's a fallback on the way old talk radio used to work. You would have guests on, and your host would actually read the advertisements themselves and hold the product and stuff like that. So old radio is a great model for how the podcast world can work and can be monetized.
I love it. Great. It's a great answer that you gave us there. And we are building a kind of a blog talk radio model as well. So if anybody's interested in audio podcasts, we'll be launching that here real soon. And we're giving you a way to interact. I mean, like right now, Larry, we're live. We got celebrities. Like this is one of the celebrities we deal with that deals with celebrity rehab, I think it is. And then Ebony's been on here. All these different people are on here right now. And remember, guys, we are live. You can ask any questions you want. We are live with Larry Namer, the co-founder of E-Entertainment Television, talking about his new book, Offscript. Those of you guys that are tuning in a little bit late, I'll give you a little catch up here. Offscript is a new book that Larry is making available for purchase. That's kind of like a recipes for life type of book. A lot of the amazing stories. There's a lot of new people that are tuning in, Larry. We have our team shooting out text messages now, and finally I got a hold of them. So the audience is coming in live. So is there anything else with the new audience that's coming in that you wanted to talk about to let them know about this book, Larry? And by the way, guys, the book will be available on Larry's social profile on the EZWAY network. So you can look up Larry Namer on the EZWAY Interactive app, and you can actually reach out to him directly and ask questions if you need to. We were showing you the podcast side of things. This is the actual social network side of things, and so you can actually download the app EZWAY Interactive. There's a lot of different people on here. You just look up Larry, and then you can go right to his profile, and you can reach out to him, asking questions about his book, or he's available for bookings and so on and so forth. Definitely add him as a friend and connect. So Larry, anything you want to talk about the book with some of the new audiences tuning in?
Well, I mean, the book is literally, it's my life and career broken up into like 8 different segments. Because as I said before, I sort of reinvent myself every 7 years. I become an entirely different person involved in very different things. And the book it's anecdotes of the things that happened during those periods of my life, matched with the recipes that inspired me during then, because while I'm good at the TV stuff, I'm better at cooking.
What's your favorite dish? What's your best dish that you cook?
Well, I grew up in a a neighborhood where, we had a lot of Italian immigrants. So I cook chicken parmesan and baked clams, and I think that, and then the one that impresses people the most is I'm a very good Chinese cook, and people are just amazed that I could cook Chinese food pretty much as good as any Chinese person on the planet.
I love that. So China, Beijing, and I know you go back and forth. What do you prefer more? I mean, I think you kind of live in the Beijing, China stuff. You also do the U.S. You live out here. What do you prefer more as far as making business happen and success? I mean, there's two different worlds right there.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes it's good to be me because I get to experience both, and so I never get bored with either. Um, in the U.S., I'm between L.A., New York, and now a lot of my friends with COVID have moved down to Miami, so I spend time down in Miami. And China, I don't go to as much as I used to go. Because when COVID came, the restrictions, the quarantines were very, very strict, um, and I wasn't going to go sit in a Chinese hotel for three
Oh, we might have lost signal.
while the
No, go ahead. We're back. Go ahead, Larry.
we're back.
Mhm.
So the so I kind of do both. So here in the U.S., we're doing, like I say, this impact programming, uh, financial wellness for millennials, and a thing called conscious parenting, and we're doing a nighttime talk show with a woman host named Natasha. Because in case you haven't realized, there are no women in late night TV in America. Why we don't know, but Natasha
Well,
will
you got
be.
Chelsea lately. She's late night, isn't she?
No, well, Chelsea is gone. Chelsea's
Well,
off. I
she's
mean,
not. Yeah,
Chelsea
she.
was one of mine, um,
Yeah.
and she was E. And so really, there's been this void in the market, for women's voice, and plus everything that you see is it's almost promotional. It's always tell us about your next project kind of thing. It's a guy host sitting behind a desk, and he has a couch, and he has one or two guests on the couch. Natasha is a motivational speaker. She life coaches Steve Aoki and Will I Am and a whole bunch of other people, and she's all about motivating and inspiration and stuff like that. So very, very different show. So it'll go on in June.
Well, Larry, we have a lot of great people tuning in, and no, I didn't even I didn't realize that. Yeah, you started Chelsea as well. There are no really late night women talk show hosts. The more that I think about it, so we're gonna have to get together and do something for late night, like there for women. In fact, we have a channel that we're gonna be launching on EZWAY TV, which is a women's channel from women from Canada that do big time summits. We have a one of our clients. Her name is Deb Drummond, and they do thousands and thousands of women on stage, big time summits. And we're really excited about this channel we're launching on EZWAY TV. We also got Tommy Parker in the house. What's up, Tommy? So glad that you see that you've joined us. Tommy is the owner of a platform called Celebrity Sports Inc. It's like another X Games, which is a really cool platform. And by the way, guys, right now, I just want to let you guys know you do have the opportunity to present your podcast, present your content. Like we have Larry Namer on the show right now, and I'm sure he'd be willing to give advice or support you guys. If you have content, I know Wendy just said, Larry, that she'd love to have you on her kitchen podcast. I guess I have. I'll love to have you on my podcast. I use Frugal Kitchen Warrior persona, and Wendy's our songbird lady. And Tommy said Larry gave me advice last night. What's that mean, Tommy? Do you know Tommy, Larry?
We kind of shot some correspondence back and forth last night, and I gave him kind of my thoughts on the real quick look at his network attempt, and what I thought he needed.
What do you think you need? I'd love to hear that because we work very
Well,
closely with Tommy. I've known Tommy for over 15 years, and we're going to be working very closely with his Celebrity Sports Inc.
well, just again taking a very quick look at his website and stuff, I just didn't see um, a lot of connection to the world of media. I mean, the sad reality is, or the reality is, If you want to get any place quick, you got to be able to cut through the clutter and get to the people that matter who could say yes to things. And I didn't see anybody on his team that really could pick up the phone and get the real decision makers on the
Mm.
phone and be able to pitch his case.
Oh, that's great advice. Sales is everything, but I always tell people you don't need salespeople, you need closers. There's
Yeah.
there's a difference. Let's get into that, Larry. Obviously you have to be a good salesperson, a good business person in order to be able to be successful with your business. Do you have any sales closing advice that you've picked up over the years, or people that you've worked with, or any advice for our listening audience, our viewing audience, as far as
Well,
sales
I
goes?
think a lot of it is just, cultivating relationships stuff. If you're gonna, the only time you're ever gonna call someone is when you're trying to get them to buy something. You typically never really build that trust and relationship. Um, so we take a very long-term view of it. We get to know people and stuff like that. And if we could be helpful to people, we are, because we figure at some point in time we may need that favor repaid and stuff, and that's worked well for us. And you know, not everything is like hit them on the head with a hammer with your sales pitch.
Yeah, no, rapport, I think, is everything. Really, it's the trust process. You gain the trust.
Yeah.
People want to buy from who they trust. Um, so Larry, this has been a really, really fun show, and 1 hour of advice and just getting to know Larry. I feel like this was kind of a getting to know Larry session. And we want to help. Every time we do Easy Talk Live, we want to help our guests get as many followers as possible, obviously through our app, which then goes to your social media. If you guys want to connect with Larry, you can connect with him on all of his social media platforms, but he is available on the app. And actually, if you look up on the EZWAY Wall of Fame, because he is a Wall of Famer, we call it, you can actually learn a lot more about Larry and how you can get in touch with him and what he's got going on. So we're going to be adding to this. He's actually had a profile previously, but we just updated and made a new profile. That's why there's not a lot of information on here, but all of his information is going to be right here on the profile. And then this broadcast, this show is going to be right there on his profile featured. So you guys want to definitely look up Larry Namer on the EZWAY Wall of Fame. And Larry, I honored you in 2010, I think it was. It was an honor to have you be my first honoree. You asked me to be on Hello Hollywood, and host Hello Hollywood with Mayton Development Group. And I appreciate all the support that you've given me throughout the years. This question is for those that are wanting to have motivation and inspiration and growing in their careers. What was it in me that you saw that made you want to support someone with a microphone that was just trying to come up? And I had a homemade microphone with a little plastic, thing that we did. What was it in me that made you want to take the time to even, help me in any way?
Well, it's kind of the same, and it's taken me a whole bunch more years to discover Natasha, who's doing Natasha After Dark with us. There are a few different components for what's going to make a successful host. Everybody thinks that just having a great personality is going to do it. People come to me all the time going, I want to be a talk show host. I want to be a talk show host. And I say, okay, do you realize that if we get you a daytime talk show, you're going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be in hair and makeup till 5. You're going to shoot till 11 in the morning. You're going to go home. You're going to have lunch. You're going to go to sleep, and you're going to do it 50 weeks a year. And people are like, oh, no, I can't do that. I go to the Hamptons in the summer and I don't wake up at 3. And so I think what we see in Natasha, it got us interested in Natasha, was the same as we saw back with you then. It's not just the personality to do it, but the work ethic. I mean, you've really got to be an unusual person who just says, I know where I want to go and I'm willing to work my butt off to get there. And you don't find many people that combine the both.
That is well said, and yeah, I thank you so much for that. And I mean, basically, how bad do you really want it? And I tell people, you need to not knock on the doors, but you need to knock really hard and make sure people hear it. You need to kick the doors down sometimes, and it does take eat, breathing, and sleeping your passion. And my passion is talking to people. I love doing this stuff. And I think the more that you do it, the more that you get comfortable in doing it, and the more that you don't really think about all the people that are watching you and things like that. And so I, just really appreciate you coming on, Larry. And you said that you talked about a couple podcasts that you guys are doing. Any opportunities that you can open up, or anything that, any particular talents or anything that you're looking for casting wise, anything that you can let us know on the show. So if any of our members fit the bill, we'll make sure that we let them know that you said it.
Yeah, no, I think, we've got Stall Talk up and running. It's doing well. And you could, like I say, it's easy enough to find on YouTube, just Stall Talk Podcast. And where it's very much about women's empowerment. So we're always looking for inspirational, motivational guests, women who have a message that are going to help other women. So we're doing that. And then we're just going to start this one on health, wellness, and spirituality. And so always looking for good guests, always looking for sponsors for those shows. And, that's kind of where our focus is these days. Our other stuff is pretty well set up with the networks and the streamers, and, they pay the bills. So it's good. And then, I've been doing, on rare occasion, I will do advisory work or consulting work to different projects myself. I mean, I was a consultant for Microsoft for a strategy. I was a consultant for Dish Network and EchoStar, and a lot of other big, the government of Israel, the government of China, the government of Russia. So if the project I find interesting and is financed, I don't take on anything where they expect me to go raise the money, because I hate doing that. So once in a while, I'll take on a consulting or an advisory project.
Well, there it is. Well, you guys heard it first from Larry, what he's looking for and what it is. And I'm going to give you guys another 2 minutes to ask your questions or comments. There's a lot of people tuning in live. Some people can't, that are watching on Roku and stuff, but those of you that are on social media or on our Easy Talk podcast page, we'll be looking for all your questions and comments. I know Tommy Parker said that Pippi Longstocking, his wife, can speak on some of that, maybe do some hosting. Khalil says, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, you got to just knock on the doors, guys. Ebony says that the show is fire. And so, guys, we're going to give you a little bit of time to ask questions or comments. If you do want to ask Larry Namer himself any questions, or me any questions or comments. Larry, we just definitely appreciate you. And we do this on every episode with all the people that we bring on. We're gonna dub you a entrepreneur with heart, and basically kind of, in a sense, give you a virtual honoring, a virtual award, for coming on and sharing your advice and sharing your wisdom. We definitely appreciate that. And lastly, on your book, where do people get the book?
You could get it on Amazon. You could just type in Larry Namer book or Offscript, and Offscript is one word. It's been on Amazon. Like I say, it's been doing quite well there. I think now it's going on a bunch of the other platforms, but Amazon is the one to really get it for right now.
All right, so Amazon's the best platform. And then also, too, guys, when you go to his EZWAY profile, there'll be a buy now button for you to be able to get the book. And you can reach out to him on the EZWAY Interactive chat. You have the app, right, Larry? If people reach out to you, will you be able to reach back?
Yeah.
There it is, guys. So make sure you reach out to Larry. So Larry, it was a fantastic having you on the show today, and we definitely appreciate you. And in closing, we'll just kind of show a little bit of all the other platforms that you've been on. I mean, all these other interviews and all these things. I mean, you're very high in demand, obviously, in television. And there's one of the videos that you did for me when I was given my award. And what's your, this will be my last question. What's your favorite red carpet moment, Larry, that you've either been on or one of your talents have been on?
Well, I think certainly when we climbed over the fence for the Academy Awards, that goes down as one. But quite honestly, my favorite award show, I just think was the best. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore. Um, was the Soul Train Awards. Tribune Media used to do the Soul Train Awards with Don Cornelius, and to me, that was the absolute most fun award show that I've ever been to. And I don't go to most of them. I'll go to the parties, but I don't go to the award shows because I think they're generally boring. But yeah, if I had to pick what was my favorite, it was the Soul Train Awards.
I love it. Well, in honor of that, we actually had the Soul Train on our stage multiple times, and shout outs to the Soul Train, group, and I'm trying to find the video. I can't find it right now, but love the Soul Train group. They're amazing. And Khalil says, let's see, can we bring a show that helps entrepreneurs structure and grow to scale on EZWAY? Hey, we'll have to talk about that, right, Larry?
Yeah, it's not an e-show. I can tell you that, but there are other networks that are looking for shows that appeal to particularly young entrepreneurs.
We are working on our side. We are working on a music and business show, which is almost like American Idol meets Shark Tank, which we're going to be shooting on August 31st. In fact, Larry, you'd be a great consultant on that show. So thank you so much for coming on, and I look forward to having you back and following your career, following your book, and definitely a big shout out to John and your family. And we hope to see you on March 2nd if you can be at any of these events. And also, too, this show is brought to you by Better Vision for Children, everybody. Better Vision for Children, bvccharity.org, which helps children with preventing blindness, eye testing, eye screening, as well as eye surgeries that are needed with children. We work with Chalk Children's Hospital, and we donate to St. Jude's and the Lions Club International, the Lions Club organization. We help give glasses to children, and love to get you more involved with that one, Larry. Do you deal with any kids or any in particular charities you want to talk about before we let you go?
We're involved. We do a lot of charitable work and stuff. And like I say, my soft spot is kids. So anything to do with kids, I'm always wide open to listening.
All right. Well, that's going to be a cool behind the curtain conversation. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time today. Looking forward. I'll get the book myself, and send us some books for the event. We'll make sure everybody do it. And that's the other thing too, Larry. We talked about giving away a couple books. So if you guys want a book, if you want the Offscript book, post your comments below. We'll figure out a way that you guys can get some complimentary books, as well as you can get maybe discounts, or definitely support when we do these shows. Support and get the books. It sounds like an amazing book. I look forward to reading all the stories. And thanks for being on the show today, Larry.
All righty, thanks. Take care, guys.
All right, bye. So, guys, there we go. There we have it. We had a great episode with Larry Namer, co-founder of E-Entertainment Television. Definitely get his book, Offscript. Great book, a lot of stories. You guys heard a little bit of it today. And the book, I think is really going to be an amazing book. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Khalil, Ebony, Tommy Parker, Rob V, Wendy Weber, just everybody, Anna Sutherland, and so many others. You guys are amazing. Love you guys. And don't forget to join us this Thursday, 2 days from now. We're going to be doing a very special pre-gala broadcast with a lot of our presenters. We'll have Bill Duke. We might have Bai Ling. We have Hassan, Dr. Hassan Rashid from the Black Panther. We have a couple of our influencers. A lot of different people will be joining us this Thursday, and that's at 2:00. So mark your calendars. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for doing it the easy way. We appreciate you guys. We're going to go to a commercial break and then end it with the show. Remember to get my book, The Influence Effect, which is available on Amazon, Google Play, Target, Walmart. We also have the Best of the Best book, which is a book you guys can be in, which we do every year. We're going to be looking for people to be in that book next year. And, just really, really excited. Again, brought to you by Better Vision for Children, bvccharity.org. We'll be supporting these kids on March 2nd. Make sure you join us on March 2nd. And let me actually just show you guys that event that is coming up. And if you guys are available, go to EZWayAwards.com and make sure you check out this amazing event coming up, hosted by Kate Linder, who has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and Young and the Restless. She's known for Young and the Restless as Esther Valentine, been on the show for over 42 years, and Trey Ireland, who's the star of 911 on ABC, and he was on Fortress with Bruce Willis, and I met him when he was on Breaking All the Rules with Jamie Foxx. Now he's directing the Hoppo Awards, and we have Bai Ling and Ken Davidian, and we're going to be honoring Don Green with the Don Green Napoleon Hill Legacy Award. It's a Heroes and Legends theme. That's why you see the Heroes trophy there. A lot of press. We have Getty Images, NBC, Peacock. We'll be honoring AC Green, the NBA legend, with our Lifetime Achievement Award. We have Kevin Dorsey as our music director, producer. There he is right there. Bai Ling. Like I said, we have Hassan Bivings and Jermaine Brantley, Dr. Olympia Giulini, Lauren Powers. We have Olga. We have Carla on the carpet. We have former Harlem Globetrotters. Just all these amazing influencers are going to be at this event. It's definitely an event you don't want to miss. Johnny Vinokur and so many others. So make sure you guys get your tickets. Today is the last day to get your tickets and be able to meet and network with so many amazing people. Choose your dinner today. Well, I'm sorry, it's not the last day to get your tickets, but it is the last day to get the dinner, the amazing dinner, which is chicken, salmon, filet mignon, so on and so forth. Make sure that you get that. Other than that, we'll have a different option, buffet option after today. And we do have options for discounts and stuff on tickets if you guys want to get involved and go. And please, guys, do me a favor and share this broadcast. It was an amazing broadcast, amazing interview with Larry today. All the EZWAY family come together, use the hashtag EZWAY family, and press the share button, comment below, tell your friends. We hope that you guys will be joining us this Thursday. And remember, guys, you guys are the fuel to our EZWAY vehicle, taking you places and making your dreams come true. So don't miss it, guys. The paparazzi's waiting for you. We can't wait to see you guys on the next one, Thursday, 2:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We can't wait to see you guys on March 2nd. We're going to all get together as one big happy EZWAY family. Keep doing it the easy way, and hit us up, 877-399-2929. If you want to do your own show, and you wanted to, just get out there in a big, big way, we're here to help you. So I'm Dr. Eric Zuley, your host of today's Easy Talk Live episode. And again, big thank you to Larry Namer. Big thank you to everybody that tuned in today. And we'll catch you guys on Thursday and on the EZWAY network. We'll look for you on the app, on the EZWAY Interactive app. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.
If you want to amplify your reach, visibility, and generate more sales leads, joint venture partners, and increase your bottom line by one simple logic.
You're watching EZWAY TV, powered by EZWayNetwork.com. You're watching EZWAY TV, powered by EZWayNetwork.com.